everyone. Okay, so we're going to be making a vision board now, or a dream board, whichever you want to call it. So I feel like the difference between a dream board and a vision board. A dream board is just basically putting everything, all your dreams into visual, down onto like a board, or this is going to be like a portable one, hence the piece of cardstock here. This is actually mixed media cardstock, but a vision board is, I would say a vision board is something where it's not only your dreams but how you envision your life, how your ideal life would look like, what it would look like. And a vision board to me, with all the images might not be exactly what you want, but they evoke a feeling of how you want to feel, if that makes sense. So I mean, for example, okay, so I have some photos here. So this, let's have a look. I'm trying to find something that I can show you. So let's use this one maybe. Okay, so some of the photos, there's quite a few like younger people in them, but it's the feeling of, so like for example this one, the photo itself, if you can see, would have been highly edited so that you can see the stars really clearly, and I'm guessing that's the Milky Way. So if I was to stand there, you wouldn't really see the sky quite like that unless you're in a country where the sky is super clear. So for example, yeah, this might not be exactly, you know, so like my dream or vision would be to sit out under the stars. It might not exactly look like that at the time, but it evokes the feeling. So this image evokes a feeling of the stars. It captures all of that, and so that's a really poor example. I'm trying to think of something else, but if you so let's have a look. So okay, what about this one then? Okay, so my running group that I run with, this looks like a group of sort of like all the same, sort of like maybe younger women or young girls, I'm not sure, but my group is made up of lots of different people of all age groups. But what this captures to me, what this evokes a feeling of, is running through the dirt, getting muddy, and doing that with a team of people, you know. Again, another poor example, but you get what I mean. So when you choose your photos for your vision or your dream board, so like for example, I might not exactly get like that, but I want to, this evokes a feeling of, you know, the calm water with the sun going down, and just being able to, because I really want to do yoga. I want to get to that point where I can do that, and I would love to be able to do yoga in a place where you know, of natural beauty. So yeah, so it's all about evoking, capturing a feeling, and then those images being put down on your vision board, so that the whole board itself really conveys that feeling, that positive, that really good feeling of how you want your life to feel and to look. So what I've done here is I've printed out my photos onto, well, from my Canon Selfie, and using the app that comes with the selfie, that I've uploaded onto my phone, or downloaded, whatever you call it. I've collaged some images together that I took from Pinterest. So these images here, I'll explain some of them. These smaller ones are for the smaller vision board, which I'm going to discuss later. So this one that we're making today is to fit a standard size traveller's notebook, but you can tweak it to the size that you want. You can even make it for a ring bound planner as well if you wanted to. So for these, what I've done is I want to do yoga. Again, I just explained the running one. I would like for my, because like where I live now, I love where I live and I love the house, but I would like to one day own my own home where it's going to be sort of like have the, like, again, it's really funny because I've chosen a bed right by sliding doors again. That is the dream. I like rustic modern. So here you have this house, it's very rustic, yet I'd like it to have sort of modern features as well, so like a combination of both, so that rustic modern feel. And funnily enough as well with this, when I printed off these pictures, I had photos of stone circles because it represented the magic of the earth, if that makes sense, and a combination of people and the earth coming together, and the mystery, because obviously we don't really know why they built those stone circles. And I'm a fan of Outlander. I've only watched the first season though, and I've watched loads of spoilers of the others, but really it's just that capturing the essence of the magic of the earth and people coming together and in community, and just the mystery of it. And I think we've lost so much of that, but I do believe it's, you know, we're regaining that, and I feel that the earth has so much more to offer, and it's all about looking after our land and everything. So that's why I printed these off. But the really funny thing is, when I printed these ones off, an anomaly came up in these photos where they're not on the original images, but when I printed them off, look, right on the stone circle ones as well. Can you see? Right in the centre of that one, another one here, one in here, and one in the trees here, but it's all the stone circle ones, and I think it happened on this one as well. So you've got the house, woodland and that, but on this stone circle one again. I just thought that was really weird. For the reason that I wanted to print them off and to have that in the photos, I just thought that was really, really funny. So I'm going to be cutting these out. I've also got magazines where I've cut out words like this, and I'll be putting on there as well. And I have a massive big bowl of ephemera, all sorts of things that I've cut out in the past that I've wanted to use. And I'll just have a, what's my park run thing? Yeah, so I'll go through these. There might be things that I would want to include in that as well. So it's just random bits of ephemera. So I'll go through that and see what I'd like. Affirmations. This is cut out from a magazine. I can't remember which one it is. It's a Spirit and Soul magazine, I think, and they've got some brilliant cutouts of, you know, that you could, like quotes you can cut out. So and images like these. And what else? So ephemera, cut out magazines, your photos, anything really. Anything that's going to evoke a feeling, you know, that positive feeling that you want. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut these out, and then I'll come back to you once I've done that, and we'll put together, we'll make the actual vision board, cut out the vision board, and then we'll start adhering the images to that. So I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, let's just put this light up. Hang on 1 second. Right, okay, so I'm just going to put together the bare bones of the actual vision board itself. My traveller's notebook will measure, so the insert's going to measure, because it's standard size, open is going to be 22 centimetres by 20, so it's like, when it's closed it's 11 by 21. Check. So this is an A4 size piece of mixed media card, but you can use any sort of strong, well, thin cardstock. You don't want it too thick, because when you stick everything on there, it's going to thicken out anyway. So yeah, by 21. So that's already, yeah, that's already 21 down there like that. So I just need to cut this out. But what I'm going to say is, while I do this, see how much you are in. So yeah, this is, so I can see, I'm going to do it like that. So this is the first idea. This is going to be my main, sort of like main vision board. It's going to have the most images on it. And then I'm going to show you, so it's by 22, isn't it? It's 11. That number keeps coming up a lot for me all my life, 11. Right, just find my craft knife. Okay, now what I want to do for this, okay, obviously I'm going to have to fold it in half, 2, so 11. What I'll do to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to score it. So, don't want to score it too much. Okay, so this, I don't know where the other bit to this is, so I could perhaps use, I've got, let me see, just need to, this will do, just be really careful with this. So just going to score it really gently, because I don't want it to be too much. There you go. Right, so this is like the main part, but I wanted to add something else on here. So you have your, so you have like this, the main vision board bit, but for some reason, I don't know why, I just came up with this idea to add extra bit to it as well. So like, I think I'm going to have about, let's see, 8 centimetres, I think we'll do. Yeah, 8 centimetres. With like little doors on here. So you'll see once I've done it. So I've got extra space because I'll show you why. Well, I didn't know why I came up. It just had it. It was like in my head, that's the way it was going to look. And as I contemplated it, so I'm just going to cut out 2 lots of these. But as I contemplated it, I thought, well, why do I need those, you know? There's that. 8. And not only does it give me extra space in the, you know, extra space for more images, but it gives me, where's the, yeah, room for something else, which I will show you when we get there. You could actually use a bigger piece of paper. You don't have to cut these out separately if this is the way you were going to, because you could, if you wanted to, just leave it at that. A second. This mat is so well used. I'm not going to stand up to make sure I'm getting it right. It's not going to be majorly precise. It's not a big deal. Right, that's that. Yeah, forgot what I was saying then. Yeah, you could leave it at that. So, oh yeah, sorry, the extra size piece of paper. Or if you don't have that, then you can easily just use a A4 size, or depends on what you're using really, what you're putting your vision board in. And then what the way I was going to attach it was, I thought washi tape, but it'll just, like, from experience from the Documented Life project when I was doing the washi taping pages together, the tip-in, sorry, it does come loose. You want this to be quite stable because of the photos is going to get quite heavy. So what I opted for is duct tape. It's white, so I can just, it's not gonna, I mean, you could use something fancy like that, because I was actually going to use cardstock that had sort of like paint on it, so that wouldn't have mattered at all. It would have given it a nice background if any of the background was exposed. But no, I thought I'd just go for the plain white for now. You could go for whatever you wanted to. And let's see. Let's just cut this off first. Oh, my scissors are really rubbish. Oh my goodness. I'm really struggling to cut this. Yeah, make sure if you're using this, use sharp scissors. Let's see, try these ones. I do need to get some new ones really. Right, so I just want to make sure this is absolutely together like that, and then just go for it. So I could actually let's see, I could do it so that it's like that way, the inside. Put that there like that. I'll just weight it down a bit. Oh, I just need to go for it and not be fussy about it. Okay, here goes. That'll do. Could fold that over, couldn't I? And then on the other side I could do washi tape. It's just fold. That's just going to give it. That's just going to hold it together a lot better, a lot easier. It's a bit of paint on there. That doesn't really matter at all there. And then I'm just going to do the other side. One of those things you just got to go for it. If you're ever worried about it, you know, moving around and stuff, you can always cut everything a little bit longer and then trim it afterwards. Oh, there you are. So, could fold that in to give it stability, so I don't have to cut that off. Then once that's folded over like that, I can get some thick or wide as opposed to thick washi tape. So let's see what I've got in my jar. 1 second. And you want some decent washi tape as well, stuff that sticks, none of this cheap stuff that never sticks. Oh, here you go. Let's try this one. Really doesn't matter what the colour the washi tape is, because it's all going to get covered up pretty much. But then saying that, if you have a particular favourite one, then just use that one. Let's do it like that. It's really pretty tape. I really like this one. Then do that. See, all this is in my head. I've got it in, like, I'm just making this according to what I have stored up here, and I am literally just just finding out along the way. I haven't seen this anywhere else at all. It's just when I was thinking about the vision board, because I knew I was going to make one, just all these ideas just came to mind. So I thought, oh, I'll run with them, and I won't do a prototype, I'll just make the original with you guys. So that's that. And then we're going to make another one for something else later, so which I'll explain later on. So there we go. Let's just fold that. Sometimes the washi tape, it's not doing it on this one, thank goodness, because it's nice and wide. Sometimes the washi tape does have a tendency to lift, so like you can just, and that's from experience, that's from those tip-ins. Right, make sure you can see me doing this. See that, like, lifting there. Now if that happens, I should be all right. If that does happen, then you can glue it if you want to. So I think that might be, I'm not sure, I'm just going to figure out which is the back and the front. But once this is folded, obviously you have that really nice washi edge. So when it is in your traveller's notebook, it just looks really nice down the edge there, like that. So next, okay, so what my plan is okay? To create the vision or the dream board, I'll call it a vision board for now, because mine is more vision board as opposed to dream board at this point. So they're pretty much similar anyway. So what I'll do is I'll create the vision board here on this side like this. With these bits, obviously I have extra space as well, which is really, really good. I did kind of play around with the images first to see what was going to go where and all that sort of thing. Ooh, but then I might just change it up. I'm just going to speed up the process, because you don't want to see me faffing around with all the photos and where they're going to go. I'll speed that up, and then I'll explain what I'm going to be doing with these bits here. So yeah, so without further ado, I will crack on with sticking my images down. Oh, by the way, before I do that, sorry, I wanted to sort of like add as well, because I don't think I said it, you can use sticker books. So like if these have really nice images or words that you want to, that really speak to you, you can add those as well, because this one that I have, I love it so much. There's so many things in here that really speak to me, and just like the keys, and they just evoke, like here, adventure, explore. So I think I will be using some of these images here with the quotes on them. Venture awaits, let's get lost, wild and free. Oh, love those so much. So I'll probably be using some of these as well. Right, so I'm going to crack on with it now and speed up the process. Okay, so here is my vision board. Well, I was going to say completed, but there's a couple of things we're going to do next, but there it is. I will confess, this took me a long time. Oh, blimey, my light's falling down. Okay, so this took a long time because there was a lot of space to fill, and what I have found when it comes to doing a dream board or a vision board is to take your time. Put in the effort of collecting as many pictures as you can. If it means that you have to go on Pinterest and then print off of, like save those images that you want, and then print them off either on whatever printer that you have. It really doesn't matter about the quality, so long as the image is there. If you're one of those people who hasn't got a printer, then maybe either get a friend to do it for you, or go down to a local print shop, or libraries, because libraries tend to have the printers there. So there are different ways of going about it. Then you also have like these words here, like pieces of ephemera. You've also got stickers and magazine cutouts, which I've already explained to you before. But what happens is, I'll explain how I did mine. It's better for me to do it this way than to have done it while I was messing about, because that would have been hours and hours and hours of video. So what I did was I basically started from one theme and sort of graduated to different themes. So on this side, so I believe in trying to put this into words. It's really difficult. I believe that we need to be much more connected to the land because we've become really disconnected with it, and our ancestors would have been so much more connected to the land and to the sky, and they even did, like, they would have done star maps and all that sort of thing, and built things, constructed things according to the stars. Everything was connected, everything had meaning. Today new builds just pop up. They don't, you know, they just sort of, and tend to be quite cheaply as well. So I won't digress into that, but I believe as well that there is sort of, trying to define what I mean by magical, I believe that there is something magical about reacquainting yourself with the land and with just the whole of nature, you know, including the stars and following the phases of the moon. And then you can use, I mean, to some people that might sound airy-fairy, but I love the fact that with Patreon I can share these things with you, knowing that you have joined to hear some of these things, and maybe I'm speaking to like-minded people. So with phases of the moon, for example, I thought, well, if I become more acquainted with that, then I'll be more grounded in my life, and I'll be more understand things better, and especially my moods or my emotions. And it's been really interesting so far tracking those with the phases of the moon. And I also believe, like with this image here, it's a beautiful photo, it's not mine. I could credit, I know who it is, I could credit them, I just don't know their name off the top of my head at the minute. But just to touch history, like those stones, to touch them. And I just think that, you know, to spend time with people out in nature as well. And that's why I got this quote here. I'd like to laugh a lot and make memories in magical places with people who love music and books and adventure as much as I do. I don't think that's too much to ask for. And I just being in that environment in itself with friends who appreciate the same things is magical. And I really want to go wild camping as well in these places. And these pictures here just inspire and sort of like ignite that magical feeling. So it's about feeling, the photos and the images inspiring that feeling, you know. And I've got a picture here with the word friends, or friends by a campfire and sitting together in nature. You'll see that there's hardly anything here, if anything at all actually, that is in the city. It's all in nature. Then I've put here my word possibilities. Right, I really want to go into this quickly. With possibilities, I have decided to embrace new like, what am I trying to say? Hang on one second. Yeah, sorry, there was someone at the door. My dog was barking. Let me just zoom in a teeny bit. There you go. Okay, I'll have to zoom out again in a minute, but I want you to get a really good view. Right, so possibilities. Okay, I want to try new things. I want to do things that might be scary, and they are going to be scary, but make me feel alive. And I used to be that person years ago when I was like a teenager, and I never really got the opportunity to do those things. And well, actually, I did do something quite scary. I left everything behind. My fiance, a house I owned, my family. I up and left everything to move up north, and I'm so happy I did. Met my love, had family really young, and now they're all pretty much grown up. They're all teenagers, but it's at that age now where you can sort of like leave them at home, they're doing their own thing and all that sort of thing. So now I have the sort of this new found freedom, and that feeling's come back now of what, you know, wanting to do scary things. I say scary, I mean amazing things, but that obviously gonna like make you feel a bit scared. So this image here goes alongside this and this one as well, because I really want to practice yoga to the point of being able to bend like that, and to do yoga in nature as well, and also to be able to do things that people think, oh, you would never be able to do that, you know. Even this morning I was talking to someone about doing this, like doing something very similar, and they said, oh, but it's massive, like, do you think you can, you know, you'll be able to do that? And I felt like a bit disheartened that they even said that, and then at the same time it's a challenge for me. So these are all things to bear in mind when you're putting together your vision board. You know, do things that will stretch you as well. You know, it's no good having a vision board where it's within a comfort zone. You do need to stretch those borders a little bit. But how far is up to you. And also the vision board deals with sort of how you think about certain things like money. Now, this image might trigger, and that one there with big fat wallet of money there. See that? Now, it might trigger in some people a feeling of, like, what does that trigger in you when you see that? See those images? Are you getting a feeling of, oh, that's really greedy, or oh yeah, I don't want, you know, that false humility, or I'd never want to be that rich? Or do you embrace it? Is there a healthy attitude towards money? Now, I have had to cultivate a healthy attitude towards money for years. I say years, probably about 5 years maybe, to get to the point where I feel comfortable with having images like this and saying money flows easily to me, I'm financially free, and cultivating the and using affirmations that will draw money towards me. And I don't feel like I don't have a love of money, you know, because it's there's that saying that the love of money is the root of all evil. You know, it's when it becomes an all-consuming passion and it overtakes everything else. And you know, it's got to be healthy, it's got to be a good attitude. And having money, not only, you know, I am financially free, but also being financially free frees you to do all the things that you feel that you want to do in life. Unfortunately, our system as it stands is really bad at the minute. Money is really unevenly distributed, and you get people who work really hard, like nurses, and they don't earn nowhere near as much as what, you know, they should. But you know, then you get people who really graft really hard and in other jobs, and they don't earn as much as they should. Then you get people who, you know, who are on a ridiculous amount of money, not doing as much. And that's a whole other debate thing. So you know, it's not evenly distributed, you know. So you've got to take control of that and say, right, you know what, I am worthy of, I'm worthy to have all that money, I'm worthy enough to do that, and I can actually do what I love and earn money for it as well. So that's another thing. Also, house here, these two images convey the fact that I really love the old rustic looking houses and that have that sort of magical feel to them, yet at the same time I love a modern sort of rustic look. I think I actually mentioned this before, the modern rustic, which is light, airy and open. I like those combined. So yeah, there is that modern rustic. There's a magazine called, I think, what's it called? Is it called Modern Rustic? Yeah, it is a thing anyway. And these images here convey strength, freedom, just being myself, and also the words fearless, wild and free. I'd love to go swimming in the wild. And also I have my idol here, Davina. I absolutely love her so much. She's so lovely. And just this image, I really love this image. I don't know why. It just, like, it's got the phases of the moon. I don't know. It just really speaks to me. That is my vision board for this year. It might change later on, and it can. That's fine. You know, we can make a new one in a few months' time if some of these things come to pass. But yeah, they're just certain things. Oh, this one here is all about being part of a team. So here I've got all friends, teamwork, friendships, possibilities here. It all kind of flows within, you know, with each other. And all the gaps, I had some washi or some stickers just to sort of like, because obviously, you know, I didn't want a white gap there and I couldn't fit a photo, so I thought, yeah, put washi or some, lay it all out beforehand. You know, I laid out this bit, then stuck it all down, then laid out this bit and stuck it down, then laid out that bit and stuck it down. I worked in sections. Okay, so now as it closes, I have, let me just have a look. I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll keep you zoomed in for a second, and then I need to zoom out a little bit so I don't accidentally get you out of shot. But as I was cutting out bits of a magazine, I did a questionnaire, and the answer I got was the Wanderer, and everything in here just really, really spoke powerfully to me. So I included that. I was actually going to use this for something else, as I said previously, but I'm going to use this side. So I stuck that down here, and then on the front I still have to decorate it, but I put obviously the duct tape to really hold it together. And then I stuck down a really big sticker with a quote and a butterfly, because it sort of like went with it. And then I'll add some more images here at a later date, because I just don't want to fill it up for the sake of filling it up. I want to actually fill it up with images that really speak to me. Okay, let me just zoom out a bit, because I'm really conscious of the fact that I might go out of shot with this one. Oops. A bit more. You can see all my mess. Right. Okay, so next, what this side is going to do, I'm really excited about this. Okay, we're gonna not only have the vision board, we're gonna actually write down our goals and intentions. We're gonna write them down as well. So we're not gonna just have the images and the quotes and the pretty pieces of ephemera and all that sort of thing. We're gonna actually remind ourselves, and this can be like to tick off things, you know. 1 second, I'm just gonna drink my tea. Yeah, I didn't want that getting too cold. Okay, so you could write at the top here. Now, please do this according to how, to how you want to do this, not how necessarily how I'm doing it, but you can do whatever you like. It's your dream vision board, okay? And the reason why I've included these bits here is just so that I can actually do this as well. So what I have here, I have some stamps, sorry. You don't have to use stamps, you can use stickers, or you can use, in fact, let me just have a look what stickers I've got. You can use, you can just write it in your own handwriting. But I know how unhappy people can be with their own handwriting. We all feel like that, well, most of us anyway. I don't think it will have, I really like the idea of, oh yeah, I've got a butterfly there though. Anyway, I'm getting carried away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these stamps. This is the closest I could get to what I wanted. I was going to have goals or intentions, which I can still do, but I want to remind myself with the old cliche, dream big, because it lines up with possibilities. And I need to dream big, I really do. I need to sort of, like with everything that's happened to me this last year, and all the things that came to pass, I literally have to dream bigger, you know. Let's just do this. So this is a reminder to dream big, and I'm going to list all the things, not all, but most of the things I can think of at this time of what I want to do that there, because I want to put shooting for. So that's there. Okay, hopefully that's, yeah, awesome. These stamps are actually from, both sets are from Anna Brim. You know Mrs. Brimbles? And they were part of one of her kits, and I believe she might even, don't hold me to this, she might still have some of these in her shop. And this is her own artwork turned into stamps. It's amazing. I'd love for my own stuff to be turned into stamps like that. Maybe it will one day. Well, that's a goal. There's a dream. Right, okay, and then I'm going to put, instead of using intentions or goals, I really like this stamp. It says shooting for. And then I can, hang on, just don't want to get any ink on the thing. So let's put that about there. Shooting for. Right, now you can include intentions if you, affirmations, sorry, if you want. You can do anything you like. It's your dream vision board. The one thing that I would really emphasize is take your time with it. Don't feel that you've got to get this done in one afternoon. I mean, really take your time. It's for the whole year. Excuse me, potentially for the whole year. You might remake it, you know. Shooting for, like, ideally I would probably just sit down and then have a little think. But you know what? I do need to get this done now. I want to get this video uploaded for you. This is going to be a part 1, as you probably would see in the title. Part 2 is going to be the other way that I wanted to do. Well, it could be an alternative, but it's more going to be about another way you can keep your visions and your dreams in front of you all the time through your planner. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that in part 2, and that will be coming out really soon, not long after this video. So shooting for, I could write anything really. When you've got to think about putting it into words, it's like, oh wow, okay. Shooting for, I really want to, shooting for, okay, all right, okay, so, new, yeah, opportunities. If I spell anything wrong, I apologise now, because I'm doing this sort of like while I'm filming and not thinking. So new opportunities, and to embrace them, even though they scare me, because this leads on to so many other things. This leads on to being financially free, because what if one of those opportunities that scare me and I take it would lead to financial freedom, or to something where I'm earning good wage, or do you know what I mean? It's all interconnected. They all connect together, and you know. So new opportunities, to embrace them even though they scare me, yeah, what else? I'm trying to put it into, okay, right, okay, so to be well on my way towards both financial freedom and owning my own home. The other thing is, which I would absolutely love to do one day, maybe, and this is sort of, I don't know, I'm not really 100% sure about this, but I have to examine my reasons for wanting to do this, and a big part of it is to come out of the system. But I would love to live off grid, but there's so many things that, negatives with that, like I'd need the internet to upload things, you know. I want to write, oh, that's another one actually, shooting for, to become an author. Become an author and have my own book published by next year. I'll give myself time for that one, published by next year. Yeah. Shooting for, to be a, oh, how do you spell successful? Just put 2 in game. Oh, I don't know how you spell successful now. My phone is my camera, basically, my video camera, so I can't even Google it. So I'll change it to be a successful artist. Look, there's me wanting to be a writer, and I can't even spell something as artist. Successful artist, writer, in fact, Video Maker, like YouTube, because there's some videos I really want to do. Video Maker. I filmed yesterday actually to compile a video for my YouTube channel, Video Maker and Blogger. I think we're going to leave that bit blank for now, because I'm going to sit down tonight and then add those, because obviously that's the only space now I have left. So there is my vision board. There's space to add things. I'm going to pop a couple of stars there actually, fill out the gaps a little bit. Yeah, that one will do actually, won't it? Take that. Will you fit somehow? Yes, you will. Dream big. A little star in the middle. Okay, let's see. Right then, if one of these stars will come up, yep. That'll do for now. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now I've done it so that with the duct tape it gives it stability, so when the and also obviously I've got the photos there and there's tape there as well underneath, so when it is in my traveller's notebook it will, you know, it's not going to get damaged with the elastic. But what I will say is if you're going to make one and you're not going to make it for sorry, make sure you're in shot. If you're going to make one and it's for not for a traveller's notebook, it's for a ring bound, you can literally forget that bit, cut out the piece of cardboard for your ring bound, then use cut out another piece and stick it in like a tip in, just like I did with this. Punch out your holes here, and so then there's your vision board. So you can stick all your photos here, then you could perhaps do your dream or intentions here, or maybe even at the back, you know, it's up to you. You can stick more photos. It just get creative with it. It's like your vision board, so you can do what you want with it. So that would be the A5, not A5, that would be a ring bound. So you'd punch the holes here, put that in, and then there's your vision board. And this is obviously Traveller's Notebook. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can also, another way we can also do this. Just pop that in here, make sure you're in shot. Where did I want to put this? I'll put it near my March Magic actually. It's probably a really good place to put it, in here. If I can grab the elastic. So, put that there like that. Really careful. I shouldn't have to take this out now. This should stay in for as long as I use this. And there is my vision board. I'm going to decorate this more. 1 second. And then there we go. It's just, I love it so much. There's so much information on here. I just turn to it and it's going to make me feel so good with that. And then on the back, I think I'm going to add something later on. Maybe notes linked, like serendipity. Yes, I can put serendipitous moments or things that have happened on the back here. So I'm going to leave that blank for just in case I want to do those. So yeah, there is part 1 of the vision board. I hope this really inspired you to make your own. Remember, you can make a vision board any time of the year. It does not have to be at the beginning of the year. It can be any time of the year. I could probably even make a new one after this if I feel that this is becoming outdated. And yeah, so vision boards for any time of the year, not just for New Year. So thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out part 2. Take care, bye.